going to start with round 1, and I'm going to start by making 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I'm going to work 5 foundation double crochet, and so to do that I'm going to work into the back bump of the chain, and this will become, after a pull through 1 loop, that will be the next base, and I'll be able to work my UK double crochets or US single crochets into there, and then I'll repeat that 5 more times. So create the base and pull through the stitch, create the base and pull through the stitch. So that's 3 of them there, 2 more. Work the base by pulling up a loop and pulling through the loop, and then work the stitch. So that's the 5 UK double crochets or US single crochets. The pattern is available in both versions. And now I want to work more foundation stitches, and I'm going to be working the foundation half treble. So I'm going to wrap once, I'm going to insert it through the base of the previous stitch, pull up a loop and pull the yarn through the loop, and then I'm going to pull through all 3 loops together, just as I would a regular half treble. So in US terms that's a half double crochet. So I need to wrap the yarn once, loop, hook through the base, pull up a loop, pull through the loop, and then pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Let's do that 3 more times to have 5 of them. So that's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half trebles or US half doubles. So now I'm going to continue working with double crochets, UK double crochets or US treble crochets, in exactly the same way. So yarn once around the hook, pull up the yarn through the base, pull through 1 loop to form the new stitches base, and pull through 2 loops twice, and then repeat. So that's my 5 UK treble crochets, US double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. Yes, I didn't count them right. Now I'm going to work the edge of the teardrop. So you can see what I'm doing here is creating the first side of the centre, a bit like this very light blue round here. It's larger because I'm using a much bigger yarn, but you can see the shape there. So that's the first one, and you can see we're going to work around the head of it now and then back down the other side. So now I'm going to work 1 chain, and I'm going to work a foundation double treble. So that's 2 wraps in UK terms into the base of the previous stitch, pull through 1 loop to create the base, and then 2 loops 3 times, and you can see that's creating starting to create the fan here. So now I'm going to work 1 chain and a double treble, a 2 wrap treble stitch in UK terms, also called a treble stitch in US terms. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do that 4 times. So that's once, twice, and we're working into the base of that foundation double treble. 3, 4 times, and you can see we've starting to create that teardrop shape here. And then we're going to make sure that our work is nicely rotated. Mine already was. I'm in the habit of doing this, having made it several times. We're going to be working the opposite side of the foundation stitches. Start by working a chain so that it matches the other side where we did the chain before we did the foundation double treble that we've been working into the base of all this time. And now we're going to work a treble into each of our 5 trebles, a half treble into the base of each, our half trebles, a double crochet into the base of each of our double crochets, and a slip stitch into the back bump of each of our slip stitches so that the stitches match on each side. So here's the first UK treble or US double, and fifth. And you can see we're now coming up to the half trebles here. You can see how the stitch becomes a little bit shorter. There's no stitch above the waistband bar, as I like to call it. So we're going to be working half trebles in UK terms or half doubles in US terms. Through the base of each of those, we'll be doing 5 and 5 UK double crochets or US single crochets into each of the bases of the stitches here. So that's 5. And now we're going to be working into the chains. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really easy to miss this one. That's why I'm counting back from the start. So we can see the base of this one is slightly extended because we used it to work the first foundation stitch. So I'm going to work a slip stitch into the back bump of that one here. And there are different ways of working a slip stitch. You can easily end up very tight if you work your slip stitches, and they become a little bit smaller. So what most people like to do is they put the hook in and pull the yarn and then pull it through, and that gives a little bit more room to it. What I prefer to do is slip the yarn through and then I bring the head through, and again that stretches it out a little bit more, using the full length of the head rather than just the width of the head to pull it through the slip stitch. So there are different ways of managing that, but what you don't want to do is just simply pull it straight through, because you'll end up, you can see that stitch there is a little bit tighter and less flexible than those stitches there. Anyway, we want 5 of those. 1. So we've got 5 of those. We've now completed all of them. And we're going to fasten off. So I'm going to just pull this thread out. Some of my hair caught on the yarn there as well. As I say, this yarn will tangle with anything. So that's the centre part there. Again, lifting up the scarf just to show you. We've got the, you can see we've created this teardrop shape from the centre of the scarf. This is the same thing done in orange. And we're now going to be working around that. And although we finished here without joining, in the next round we'll go all the way around, and then we'll come back and we'll join here with the slip stitch so that we get a full circling of the yarn. So the first one, I've called it a round in the pattern. It's not really a round. It comes back to the beginning, but we don't really join it because they're slip stitches anyway.